Let me tell you a story. Now, as you listen to the next couple of minutes, this story could well be your own. Because what our job is to bring to life your own story and your own journey to make your aspirations and goals a reality. Now, that isn't something that you would automatically assume is part of financial planning, but getting to know your story and your journey is part of making sure that it would happen. So I just want to give you some examples of how we have brought to life stories for some of our existing clients. So we work with, and I am making up the names for posterity, we work with Fred and Margaret. Fred and Margaret have 2 grown-up children who are just starting to find their way in life. Fred and Margaret have worked exceptionally hard. Margaret was employed whilst Fred ran his own business. So they were very, very busy with life. They'd always saved hard, worked hard, and were really content with everything that they had. But they had this worry, and this worry was, have I done enough? What have I done to make sure that if something happens to me, that Margaret is okay? When can I retire? Can I retire? Have I got enough to retire? So all of these things were very real worries and concerns. So what do we do to help? Well, fundamentally, what we do is we just take time to really get to know you and your circumstances. The figures, the investments, the pensions, all of that information is extremely important. But what we then do is once we've taken all of that information and we've gathered all of the facts and the figures, we help you to make sense of actually what those facts and figures mean to you and how they can make your retirement a reality. And very often is the case that it turns out that you've done a better job than you think you have by working hard, playing hard, saving hard, and just doing as much as you could. But you also want to make sure that you can support children because it's really hard in getting onto the property ladder. So how could we help Fred and Margaret to do that as well as retiring? Well, what we did was we were able to identify if they were to retire now, exactly what their position would look like. But could they then afford to do the things that they love? Could they go and travel to watch the rugby sevens? Could they go and on the holidays that they want to Australia? Could they support grandchildren in the future? All of these things, we would be able to help to say, yes, you can do that now, or you're not quite there yet, but this is what we need to do to get you to that exact position. So bringing all of these things to life is a fundamental part of your financial planning. Protecting what you've already built is fundamentally important to that planning as well. But being able to take a phone call from Margaret to ask me that she felt that the time was now right for her to retire, could she do that now? And for me to not even question, because we'd already done the planning, we'd already mapped out what they needed, and I could unequivocally say that what they have in place meant that she could say yes to retiring now. Can you say that? Do you know what you've got in place? And if you haven't, then you need to build your journey and your story with financial planning, and you need to have the right team to do that, because trust is absolutely paramount. You choose the people in your life, and that should be no different with your financial planning.